Hi, everyone. It's Tracy here at TierraCast's. Thank you. If you've popped in already, thanks for being here. Pretty darned exciting today. We have a new product launch. Give me a second. I'm just going to get things a little bit fixed up here to make sure that I can see you guys and see what you're saying. And I had to double check the meeting just to make sure that I unmuted myself. And I had to double check the meeting just to make sure that and as usual, we hear when I get this Facebook live stream set up where I can see your comments, it pops in with volume. So it's always, a little repeat echo kind of thing there. Hello, Susan. Hello, Marika. Hello, Suzanne. Hi, Landa. Hi, Vicki. Oh, there's lots of people popping in, which is exciting because we have a new product launched today. Well, yesterday. We launched it yesterday. And, it's wholesale. So the email went to all of our wholesale customers. And then we do some social media. Whoops, hold on, guys. I'm losing visuals here. And then we, of course, do some posts on social media so that we can reach all of you guys who may or may not be wholesale customers. You may be jewelry designers and people who have your retail jewelry supply sources. So, we do social media and our launch video so that you guys also know what's happening and know that there'll be some fabulous new product in your retail sources very soon. So I have with me Kirsten, and Kirsten Aiello is our product development manager. She's our bench jeweler. She's our jewelry making. I call her the bench goddess here. She does all the bench jewelry work and creates our parts. And she's also the one that has the artistic vision for the parts. So Kirsten's here. She's gonna join us and talk a little bit about the inspiration, about how the different parts came about. And here she is. Hey, Kirsten.
Everybody.
Yay. Thank you for being available for us today.
It is my pleasure.
I have the mood board. So a product launch often starts with an idea, a theme. It starts early on. Kirsten will start putting together some imagery of things that are inspiring her. She may already have ideas, that have been percolating for a while, and so she'll put together a mood board to start the ball rolling. And this one, Kirsten, I think that you have been percolating for quite some time.
Yes, this particularly a couple parts in this line have kind of been marinating for a while. I love the Western theme. I love country music. I love old Western jewelry. So I have been gathering inspiration, little pieces of metal, little sketches and ideas for this line for years now.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. So I'm thinking that I should probably switch my screen so that people can see the parts in this new collection. As I was saying, it's Wild West. That's a dead giveaway to the theme, right? Our graphic designer, the whole team sometimes has an idea about the art direction. So we do a whole lot of group. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of that? And then our graphic designer, who doesn't work in-house, her name is Kendra Sevilla, and she is a subcontractor for us. She does an amazing job. So the flyer, we just love. And if somebody wanted that terribly badly, you can download that on our website. There's a link at the bottom of the page. Or wait, no, that's the catalog. Maybe we can make a link to the flyer. But anyway, if people want to see on the website, then they need to go to the link that I posted in the description. Hi, Geeta. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Danielle. Everybody's here. This is fun. there's a link to the collection on our website in the description of the video. So that's where you guys will want to go to see all the parts. But in the meantime, so the collection includes the snake link, rattlesnake link, concho clip-on earrings. Actually, you know what, Kirsten, I'm going to let you go. Tell us about the different parts and tell us, kind of how they came about.
All right, I can do that. First, I want to say aloha to Cosette, who's joining us from Hawaii. Cosette used to work with us, so we missed you. We love you.
She left us. It's okay.
Oh, she left us.
Hawaii. What are you going to do?
Well, we'll start with the rattlesnake link. So that one is the one that has been marinating the longest. Actually, I have a good thing to share. Sorry, pardon my reach. So years ago, I brought up the idea in a product development meeting, and we were kind of talking about it. And I said, I don't know, maybe like this, maybe like that. And Tracy actually handed me this little sketch.
That's right. I forgot I made
of just some loose kind of configurations. And actually, as you can see, we did go with, can you see it? We went with that one right there.
It's a little faint. The camera's not focusing ideally, but
well, it's like a 3-year-old piece of paper and pencil, so it's also not that crisp. But it was a great sketch that Tracy did, and it was like the perfect balance. So,
and what I have to say, when I was making the sketch, I was like, this needs to be linkable. We don't want it to be just a charm. We want it to be linkable. So the little curl of the tail at the bottom was crucial.
Yeah, I love a link that doesn't just scream link, because then you can use it as a drop. You can use it as a photo. You can kind of use them in any way you like. They're really lightweight, so they make excellent earrings as well. And they are beautifully modeled. So I worked with our CAD designer to replicate a rattlesnake. Yeah, so it's on the back. It's got a beautiful underbelly. And the top has a little rattle. It's got this fine scale work. It's really a beautiful link. I love the little rattlesnake.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it as close to my camera.
Yeah, there you go.
And you can see it, the little rattle.
It's very, very detailed and very fine. So it's a really good scale. The item is just a nice usable size. And you don't have to use it in Western. You can use it for your kind of mythical designs. It is a rattlesnake, but go wild with it if you like.
Right. Awesome. Love that snake.
So that is the one that so besides for the rattlesnake, we also have been working on thinking about considering this Floral Nugget large hole spacer for a long time. Julie has been begging for this part for our customers for probably before I even started at TierraCast.
Years.
It's just got a really nice organic feeling to it. It's fits on, what do we say, 1.5? 2
well,
millimeters?
It's the hole, sorry, stumble. The hole is nearly 2 millimeter, but because it's kind of a nugget shape, that the hole is a little bit has some variation. So it fits 1.5 millimeter cord very safely, and 2 millimeter cord if it's, how there can be size variation in leather cords. 2 millimeter cord, it'll fit if it's not quite, if it's not the fat 2 millimeter.
Gotcha.
If it's a thinner 2 millimeter. So the description on the website and stuff says 1.5 millimeter, but you can fit a skinny 2 millimeter in there.
Yeah, it makes it great. I mean, you can use them in multiples. I have them on my earrings.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good part that you'll probably end up using a million times.
Right. And we did offer that in a couple extra finishes because we know it's going to be used much more outside, not necessarily with the Western components. And most of our Western components, we did do in silver, copper, and antiqued gold. And then as Kirsten goes through them, you'll see we did throw in an extra finish here and there.
Yeah, so that one also got the brass ox and the 40 finish.
Which is the antique pewter, yeah. So it's a slightly more rustic looking silver finish for people who aren't familiar with it.
Yeah, it's an unplated finish. It's just all done in-house, which is pretty cool. And yeah, they can be used kind of in all different kinds of ways. And Julie is very happy we finally made it.
Kimberly Carey Crawford is saying, this is a solid line. There has been a need for a Western line out there that is double-sided, solid, and TierraCast's quality. Thank you, Kimberly.
Well, we got some more tricks up our sleeve. So that is the sweetest little Concho Post. I love making posts. And I really wanted one that was small scale. It is detailed front and back. And I wanted it to look like antique Western buckle work, or like a concho, or like very equestrian style.
Yeah, job well done. And they're a great size. I love the size there. And they're very inspired by traditional silver work, like you said, the concho. But I think they're also subtle enough where people can mix it up with other sort of jewelry themes.
I agree. It's a very wearable size. We did all the silver work in-house. So we utilized a bunch of just really time-honored traditional methods of making. We did stamping. It has, we used a shot plate. It's just all hand fabricated here in our studio.
Just really amazing. I'm trying to get it way up there again so people can see the detail.
It's hard to see all the detail until you have it in your hand.
Right. Get it up close enough to the camera and still have some light on it. And yeah, I love them.
Just very sweet. And then it's got its big sister, the clip.
The clip.
So it's funny. I have pierced ears, obviously. But I still wear some of my mom and my grandma's old clip-on earrings. I find that sometimes when my earrings are bigger, even the clip supports them better.
Nice.
It's like less like drag on my ear.
Right. Stretching out the hole in your ear.
Yeah, we make some beautiful clips already. We just wanted to add another one that was really like more of the moment. You know, everyone knows Western is very popular right now.
So it's the same concho inspiration, but you turned it into an oval. And made it a little bit bigger, of course, as a clip needs to be. And people may notice that there's no copper in this, and that's because there was a production issue. Oh, because it has to do with the copper antiquing interferes or something?
It does, yeah.
So sorry, copper lovers, but the clip is just in silver and gold.
Yeah, just in the silver and gold for now.
For now. All right, what's next?
I'm saving my favorite for last. So let's talk about the Longhorns.
Okay.
So the Longhorn Charms are awesome. Maybe they're not going to be for everybody, but I just love them.
They are gorgeous.
They're really cool. So we really took a lot of care to model them front and back after a real skull. They look really lifelike. There are, some Longhorns on the market currently, and ours is definitely very detailed, very realistic looking.
Tried to adjust my light to see if I can get a little better light when I have them close up. That looks a little better.
Yeah, it's hard to see, but they got their little eyes and their nose section.
They're fabulous.
They are pretty fabulous. The horns are nice and long. We took great care to make sure they were just perfect. We went through a couple different iterations.
Yeah, and something I like about them is you put a nice big loop on them, so they'll be able to work on very rustic, heavy cords.
Yeah, you can put leather through there if you want. Kind of do a lot of things with it. Add it to your keychains.
And the extra finish, had to do this one in a black.
Yeah, we offer some of our skull beads in black, and we tried a couple of the items in black, but that one was just too beautiful to pass up.
Right. Nice.
We skipped over. Well, we'll talk about the Longhorn button. So with the Longhorn Charm, we also worked on a Longhorn button, and it's kind of marrying a couple of the ideas. It's got the Longhorn skull on it, just a teeny tiny one.
Uh-huh.
But it's also got a lot of beautiful Western inspired scroll work on it. And little flowers to keep it from being too rough.
Nice feminine feel.
They're really cool. I love my earrings that Tracy made for me with them. Actually, I made these.
You made these, yes.
Following Tracy's instructions.
We are going to show some designs as soon as we're done, like showing you guys all the awesome parts. We'll talk about some design inspiration.
Yeah, it's got the back shank on it will fit your 1.5 leather cord.
Yeah.
You know, it'll fit 2 jump rings.
Nice and roomy. Love it. Okay.
So we also added what is a very popular item for us, which is our crimpins.
Nice. We originally came out with crimpins in our finishing touches line. I think that was the fall of 2019. And you did 3 sizes at that time, and they were very popular, and people have asked for additional sizes. So this one is just a wee bit bigger.
Yeah, it is about the size of our largest current crimpin, which would be our Marrakesh crimpin.
Uh-huh.
It is just, we wanted to add more variety to that line. It's something that we want to keep adding variety to that segment of our product offerings. They're just really cool. I don't see many like them. So
I love them. And they have the concho inspiration.
Yeah, perfect for putting on seed beaded loomed bracelets.
Yeah.
Or using for leather.
I'll show a couple of examples when we get there to the design inspiration stuff.
Tracy made a lot of beautiful designs with this line, which always makes me very happy.
Yay! It's great to get to work with great parts. So a mutual love fest.
And then I saved the last of my favorite for the last. I love big components. Anyone that's kind of been paying attention to our last couple lines has seen, I like to make a big link. This one's cool because it's very open. It's kind of unlike anything we've done before in that it has a ton of open space.
Yes. And
it's got a beautiful landscape on it. You can flip them to be like a mirrored image if you're doing earrings. And they work great for that. So because of the way that the top is designed, it will nestle in your ear wire just perfectly, and it won't do the tilty thing, which drives me crazy.
Yes. I'm seeing a lot of questions, you guys, and it's going to be hard for us to get to them. We're so wrapped up, but I promise that I will go through all the comments and answer any questions after if we miss them. Geet is asking if the crimp ends were the same size as the previous ones. They're a little bit roughly the same on the inside, roughly the same width as Kirsten mentioned, the Marrakesh. But it's just a little bit of a different shape, but it'll work with the same type of stuff. And other questions, I promise I will get to them, you guys.
I'll go into when you're talking about the inspirations, I can go in and answer some questions.
Oh, awesome.
Also.
Awesome.
Yeah. So these are cool. You can hang a lot from the bottom. It's kind of the perfect launch for Tucson time of year.
I did see that someone asked if we were going to be showing these in Tucson, and I'll take the opportunity to say yes. But it's a wholesale show. Julie is currently right now down in Tucson at the Mojo Wholesale Show. It does, you can probably look it up, just look up Mojo Bead Show, and it is wholesale only. So there's pre-registration required and wholesale qualifications to meet. And she is down there showing the parts right now. I talked to her briefly this morning. I was hoping that she would be able to pop in, but I kind of doubted that she'd have time because it's a one-woman show. She's by herself down there, but she's got all the jewelry designs. So I was hoping she'd be able to pop in and show us the display and all the jewelry designs, but I've got some backup stuff here later we'll get to. So yeah, we are taking them into Tucson. So look for that show, Mojo Bead Show. And so that's all the parts, right, Kirsten?
That's all the parts. I did want to mention that, this line is near and dear to my heart, as they always are. And if you look at our kits, you'll see that we use some cholla wood on there. And that cholla wood I actually got from my brother's property in Joshua Tree, California, which is the desert. If you've never
she's
been.
Talking about this little piece, if people aren't familiar with what that is, it's a certain kind of tree, and it's like this amazing structure. And she brought a piece back that we used for the jewelry styling.
So I thought that was cool. It's just a little piece of home.
Yeah, Julie's got that with her too. I packaged it very carefully. It's very delicate. I packaged it very carefully and sent it with her. So
you don't want to touch them when they're fresh.
Yeah, so 3 kits included with this new line. So the ones Kirsten was kind of showing that she's wearing is this design. It's made with our Longhorn buttons and the little the Floral Nugget spacer beads. Very easy kit. It uses some really fine suede lace, so it's really fun to put together. And it's so simple, it's just like a lark's head knot. So that seemed like a great kit. We do like to make our kits very beginner friendly, so that fit the bill. And then we did one with that little rattlesnake Link, and again the flower spacer. And we threw in, we do have some other components in our offerings that are kind of Western themed. So this is one of the buttons that we've done in that theme. It's called, what do we just call this? The Western button, huh?
I think so. Let's see. Yeah, we call it the Western button.
So that was a great pair with the theme and the snake.
Yeah, we call it the Western button.
So that was a great pair. Now Kirsten has to mute her other stream. I see.
I did it. Sorry.
And then the last one was, we've talked about over the years, should we do, this is a very popular technique, the brick stitch on a ring with then some kind of seed bead tassels. And we've talked about whether or not we should branch out into that with the kit, and we did finally go for it. It really is an easy technique. It's just very simple, little bit of brick stitch, and then to make some fringe with the seed beads. So yeah, I'm excited about this kit. And I'm wearing these earrings too. I'm excited about this one and see how people like it.
So I made all the kits. And I followed all Tracy's instructions that she wrote. And I have to say, I loved making those beaded concho earrings.
Nice.
I am not I don't know how to do like a lot of beading techniques that a lot of you know how to do. And I really felt like I learned something. It was really cool.
Yeah, yes, awesome. And I'm glad you did it too, because if when somebody tests instructions, it's really great if they are not familiar with that particular technique, because then I know I wrote the instructions well enough for them to be able to do it. So that's always a good test. I am, maybe when I go through, or maybe I can do that right now, I'm going to throw some links into the comments. I'm going to throw the Wild West link in there. And then I'm going to throw, we were talking about other parts we have in that theme. And we do have an old collection called Western Winds. And so I'm going to throw that link in there too. I think all of those parts are included under that collection. And hopefully I'm spelling the links right so you guys, they'll work.
We do. We have some fantastic older parts that would go great with this collection. We have the saguaro cactus. We have little boots. We have all kinds of cool Western
stuff.
Ferns.
Yeah. So, and I don't remember if I said this out loud when we started, but our bead store customers are able to purchase all of this now. So there may be a little bit of a delay before the places you like to shop actually have them in stock, but they'll be there. You just might have to wait a little bit. If you're one of our wholesale customers, you can go onto our website and shop right now. I don't think the kits are shipping for another week or two.
Yeah, the kits will ship around Valentine's Day.
Oh, awesome. Perfect. So I was talking about how Julie has all of the jewelry designs, and she does, but you guys can see those. I'll throw another link in here. All of the designs that we made for the photo shoot, for the marketing. Julie took with her for her display at the show, but I just put in a link to our inspiration section on our website, and all of these designs will pop up right there. What I decided to show you, since I didn't have the finished versions of everything that we did, is I just grabbed a bunch of the other iterations, because when we're doing designing for a product launch, there's always iterations. We'll start with an idea and then we'll morph it, and then eventually there'll be a finished design. So I just grabbed a few of those that were laying around so that we could kind of show what we did with some of the parts. So disclaimer, this one is not one of mine. Designer Danielle Wicks, and I think she's watching. Danielle, are you here? She made these. We sent her some samples because she's someone who does a little bit of playing with parts for us when we ask her to. And so we sent her some of these big old links, and she sent back this gorgeous pair of fringe earrings. So I don't get to take credit for those. Those are Danielle's, and I was going to wear them today, but they're a bit big for me. But I thought you guys should see those, because that is an awesome use of the desert. What are we calling this one? The desert landscape.
We are Desert Landscape Link.
Yeah, and then I did do a variation. I did do a design with the same techniques that I used with the Desert Landscape Link and the Concho Post. So there are instructions on the website, or there will be. I haven't uploaded the PDFs yet. The instruction pages are there for these projects I'm showing, most of them, but the PDFs aren't there yet. But give me a little time today, guys, and there'll be PDFs available for them.
Tracy, there was something I wanted to mention too, and I totally forgot. In one of our kits, the beaded concho earring kit, we've included enough seed beads in it that you could actually make it at least double the length.
Nice. Yeah,
so you could kind of like work in your own design to those. You kind of have extra beads to play with.
Right. So what she means is there's enough beads in there, guys, where you could make this twice as long as the instructions. And, you would just add more beads in each of the sections. So you could do that. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, we did a few fringe styles that are both of these are on the website. And then that little snake, I had some fun with that. One of the kits is this type of leather bracelet. This was kind of one of the early iterations. The finished design has a little second knot here after the beaded section to hold them in place. And this, and then this wire wrapped bangle design is also up on the website. And both of those, one of the things you can do, I know you guys, if you watch our demos regularly, we've demonstrated how to bend some of the components that will work with that. And this Rattlesnake Link is one of those things. Pewter is a relatively soft metal, so you can take a piece and either use bracelet bending pliers to kind of make a curve in the piece, or you can even just press it down around a small jar, or even just use your fingers. It is something you want to be careful with. You don't want to bend a piece, you just want to curve it. So that's what part of the technique in both of these projects is, giving a little curve to that Rattlesnake Link. And then we were talking about that little link also making just a great little charm. So this was an early iteration of one of the earring designs. So let's see, button, so all the jewelry designs, of course, the intent when we make jewelry designs for marketing is to show all the parts being used in traditional and different ways. So we often use buttons as earring focals. That's just fun. And then the I think I already said this, those little nugget beads, the hole's big enough to thread up onto this fine suede lace. So that's a fun design. That's going to be a very popular kit, I hope. And then with that crimp end, we did a couple of designs with that. We did a suede lace earring where this one I think is already crimped down, so I can't take it off, but this one was one of the ones I was working on when I wrote the instructions, and it shows you how I folded the suede lace up here, and then you just can pop that little folded section into a crimp end, and then I secured it. I can secure it by crimping. I can either use parallel pliers or flat nose pliers or nylon jaw pliers to pinch that closed. It is pretty sturdy, so it takes a little bit of squeezing effort to do that. And you can also just secure these with glue. You could always just put some glue in there. And if you didn't want to crimp at all, just put some glue in there and tuck your material up in there.
So Tracy, there's a good question about whether the crimpins are suitable for silk ribbon.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar. What do you think?
Well, silk ribbon, you do want to make sure that you've got some thickness in there, because if you pinch this down too hard, if I tried to pinch this all the way down and close it completely with very little material in there or even no material, you would risk cracking the plating up here at the top. So you do want to make sure there's some material in there. So if you're using silk ribbon, yeah, just make sure you've got a thick enough bit in there, and maybe instead of relying on crimping it really hard, use some glue instead. So yeah, oh, and someone said she tried bending someone's pieces and snapped it. That could have been either because it was just wimpy metal or because it was overly work hardened. That is something I guess to bring up is, if you manipulate metal repeatedly, it will eventually work harden and can break. So this isn't something that you can open and close and open and close over and over and over again, because eventually it would work harden and break at the top here. But you wouldn't. Why would you want to do that? You're going to make your piece, and then you're gonna. That's it, right? Right. So these crimps are really wonderful. So this is another design I worked on, which was a labor of love. It's a Josephine Knott design. And this one's not on the website, but it will be a little later this month. I'll have a second round of designs going up. But my inspiration here was I wanted to do this knot and then finish it with the crimp end. So Julie's got that finished design with her. So, but this was one of the prototypes. So that one, I loved working on that one. That was a lot of fun.
That's really pretty, Tracy.
Yeah.
Hi to Lena and Lynn, our latecomers.
Yes. Hi, Lena. Nice to see you. So I did set up, Kirsten, we don't need to leave you sitting on the screen. So I'm just going to take you off if I can figure out how to do it. I don't want you to leave. I'm just gonna take your video off if I can figure out how to do it. In the meantime, just keep smiling and chatting.
Okay, yeah, I'll be here to answer questions. Did you figure it out?
Well, I clicked stop video. Now, whether or not that means that.
Okay.
There we go. That's what I wanted it to do. It just is focusing now on the single camera. What I thought I might do is screen share and show you guys, just kind of scroll through the inspiration pages on the website so you can see them. Let's see if I can do this. Screen share. It should, in all theory, go to, yeah, there we go. Sort of. Hold on, guys. Let me widen that.
It's beautiful.
So this is the inspiration page on the website. Let me just make it full screen. And it shows you some of those new designs that are up there, and we'll have PDFs a little bit later today There's, I think, 1 to 8 designs that we've got on the website right now for inspiration. And I've got another 6 or 7 waiting in the wings for a second round later this month. So you can see, oh, I didn't have any of these to show. These were just a fun design that we did with the Longhorn Charms and some of our teardrop links in the little Concho Post. So those are a fun inspiration. Julie took that one as one of the projects for her make and take table at the show. And she sent me a picture yesterday of someone that had made that. And I think she was very pleased with how it went. And this, we were talking about Danielle earlier. She also did this really fun peyote bracelet for us. So she used the little Longhorn button. Let me scroll back up a little bit. The little Longhorn button and the Rattlesnake Link just on a pretty peyote band that has cactuses on it. So that was a really fun project that she sent to us. And you can find that there on the website as well. And let's see. All the kits, the 3 kits, they're all there. You've got your beaded conchos right here. You got your Longhorn fringe right here. Here's those concho fringe earrings. The final version ended up being kind of wispy. I didn't use quite as much suede lace in them. So those are a very fun project and very easy. A little bit of wire wrapping, but beyond that, pretty easy. And let's see. Oh, this was Julie's favorite. She wanted a lariat. So we used the button to connect the lariat, the 2 strands for a lariat. And that, I think, came out pretty fun. And then I'll just click on one more for you guys. Well, there's the waterfall. You guys can click them all yourselves and just explore and get all the details for these fun designs. This one is again the Rattlesnake Link that's got a little bit of a curve to it, and I wire wrapped it to one of our bangles. And that was fun. I enjoyed that too. And we also did a little leather variation, a leather cord variation for that one. So lots of fun inspiration, you guys, just right there in the inspiration section of the website. And of course, if you scroll down, there's all kinds of other stuff too. So, you know, it's a rabbit hole. Have fun with that.
I can't wait to see what our customers make with Julie this weekend.
Yeah, it will be fun. I'm going to see if I can bring you back, your video back, Kirsten, and I'm going to switch my camera too. Let's see. So that's it for the Wild West launch. Is there anything we missed? Did we forget to? What I like about this kit, Kirsten, is not only that it's a beginner-friendly kind of seed bead project, but it's also small and lightweight. So I'm not a big earring person, so that works well for me. I like slightly smaller stuff. And I have to see if I can get the feedback here so I can see comments. Component fashion show. I like that. Thanks, Karen. That's a good way to put this. Kirsten, you were talking about something else briefly. Playlist. I don't suppose you have the link handy.
Oh, I bet I could find it.
I have got it. Did I put it in the email? So we're talking about a playlist. What we did, I'm wondering if I have one of the postcards sitting in here in my office. Give me a sec.
If you don't, I do.
I do.
All right.
So one of the things that Julie wanted to do with the launch, you know, she's our sales rep, so she always has ideas about how she wants to present the parts and the collection to our customers. And this time she said, I want a playlist. We're like, what? We're like, yeah, I want a playlist of all like kind of Western themed songs. So she and Kirsten worked on this playlist. I'm sorry, this isn't picking it up really well, but Kirsten's going to throw a link into the comments. We created a postcard that had like a playlist of all these fun songs and a QR code so people could scan it. And she took that down to Tucson with her to give to her people. Our directions to the beaded cactus bracelet available. Yes, Carol, they are on the the inspiration page of our website. There's a link somewhere further up in the comments. The PDF, downloadable PDF, is not there yet, but it will be. I'm going to upload those as soon as we're done here this morning. So if you don't see a PDF link on those inspiration pages, check back later this afternoon. So yeah, playlist. Kirsten, I think, is still looking for a link. I can find it. I'll put that in. We'll find it and we'll put that in later. Lena, it was a great idea. Oops, she found it. There's a link to the playlist right there in the comments, guys. So enjoy that. You can go to the website, take a look at the collection and listen to some cool music while you do it. So I think that's all we got for you guys. I'll be doing some demo videos, of course, with some of these projects, especially the kits. We want to make sure that there's some demo videos for the kits. So I'll start scheduling those and keep you guys posted. And thank you, Kirsten, for coming in and giving us all the origin story.
Thank you, Tracy. Thanks, everybody.
And, yeah, enjoy, you guys. Hope you like the collection. We love it. We're always super excited when there's a new group of parts. So we'll be riding that wave for the next few weeks and hope you guys enjoy it too.
Would you say riding that horse?
What's that?
Riding
that horse. I said riding that wave. You're right. I should have said riding that horse. That's hilarious. All right. Bye, everyone.